你好。Distinguished guests, sponsors, arbiters, competitors, friends. It's a great pleasure to be here in Haikou for the 2012 World Memory Championships. Back in 1991, Raymond Keane and Tony Bazan invited me to enter the very first World Memory Championships. And although I'd been training for some 4 years before that, I took 1 week off work to train for this, 2 or 3 hours a day. And I managed to win the first World Memory Championships with 7 competitors. Fast forward to 2014, 23 years later, we have the biggest field ever of the World Memory Championships, over 20 countries. And I know that most of you have been training at least 1 or 2 hours a day, some of you, many of you, 3 or 4 hours a day, and some of you 5 or more hours a day. I think if I were to compete again and have any chance of getting in the top 10, maybe the top 5, I would have to spend the next 6 months training 6 to 10 hours a day. That's without even thinking about attaining the title again. And the question that I'm asked, and you must be asked, every single one of you, is why do we do this? Why don't we have me time? Why don't we do what normal people do? Go out and socialize and play a normal game, play on computer games. And each and every one of you will have your own answer to that. But for me, initially, it was the challenge. How do I get a deck of cards in my head? And later on, I realized that these techniques, memory techniques, are really the key to unlocking your brain, the key to learning. And that's why I'm so involved in schools, and I want to get these techniques out to as many children in schools around the world as possible. I'm impressed with everybody. The fact that you're here, you've been training so hard, I know what it's like. It can be a very lonely sport. I was particularly impressed when I met the Mongolian team yesterday evening and saw the juniors, and their team captain was saying that they've been training in the last month 8 to 10 hours a day. And 8 of the juniors are able to memorize a deck of cards in less than 30 seconds. And I asked the question, how do they get the time to train? And the team captain said, well, the school allowed them 1 month off to train. 1 month off. This is music to my ears. I think every school should have 1 month off for their students to learn the art of memory. Now, a reporter yesterday said to me, what does it take to become a champion? And I said, there's 2 things. You've got to have the right strategy, and you've got to want to train. You've got to have the desire, the intent, the determination, and the will to do it. And then he pressed me for 1 word. He said, if you had to put it down to 1 word, what would it be? And I said, well, it's got to be persistence. Now, over the next 3 days, you'll be demonstrating to the world the extent, the level of your own persistence, your own determination and will to succeed. And importantly, you'll be inspiring your community, your villages, towns, cities, to also take up this beautiful game of memory. But above all, you're here. This is your moment to enjoy yourself, and I'll be sharing that joy with you over the next few days. And I really want now just to say thank you to the arbiters who travelled halfway across the world to help us with this wonderful competition. So thank you very much, 谢谢。
我大致的这个翻译一下，就是刚才他的致辞的内容，是这个1991年创建这个脑力世界脑力目标